Hey everybody, it's Brickwaffle again, and we are back on Empyrion Galactic Survival, and we've made our way back up to the space vessel here, the big capital vessel, because we needed to get a few materials so that we could head down to the planet and start working on our base. And so what we've done here is we've just come and grabbed a bunch of raw materials out of the capital vessel. We've grabbed an advanced constructor. We have this blueprint spawned little vessel here. We're just using this as a shuttle so we don't take the Viper. Yeah, I know. If you continue flying, you will die. I don't know why I get that message, but good news is it's not true. So we're going to take this thing back down. That hangar door should close on its own. Why are you not closing? I'm not entirely sure. Let's just hop out of here. That thing's not safe to leave running on its own. Let's go ahead and close this manually. There it goes. There's our ship. And like I said, the good news is that thing has turrets all over it, so it's going to be pretty safe out here. I have seen a couple of space drones. But what we have done is we have taken out the drone base over here, which is good. It means we're going to limit our spawns pretty quickly. And now what we have to do is just get down to the planet, and then we need to look at, nope, not our faction chat, but our map. And you can see that, there was the old drone base, there's a copper deposit there now, and there is brick base. So let's go ahead and head up that way. Yep, need to go that way. There we go. And brick base is on this little island now. It's just a little landing pad for the time being, but what I want to do is carve out some area around it and underneath it. And we'll see when we get a little bit closer. We've already started to work on that. We do have a copper deposit on this little island. But when we get just a little bit closer, you'll see the terrain's going to snap to and show all the changes we've made. There we go. So we've started working on a little bit of this right now. Let's see if we can pop this guy down right around here. There we go. Beautiful. Hop out of there, take our helmet off, and let's have a quick peek around at what we've done so far. So you guys saw this back on Aqua. We had one of these landing pads. I made that a blueprint, put it up on the workshop. So I spawned myself another one over here. And on this side, what we've done is similar. We've kind of raised up the terrain around this. Ooh, actually that hurt. To make it look like we have this rocky outcropping, I think it looks pretty good. It looks like we purpose-built this thing here in the terrain rather than building the terrain around it, which I'm pretty happy with. Now we've got our stairs over this way. And over on this side, we're going to go into the mountain, into this hillside a little bit. It's not really much of a mountain. And then out and up the top. So in order to do that, I've moved the core from the center of this over to underneath the front. And here we've got an elevator that goes into our underground area. So I just started to dig this out. I started to dig this out and line it with concrete. And you can see we've got some space in here that I've kind of dug all the way back. And then I dug a tunnel that went kind of through this terrain. And then it drops down over here. We can go down quite a little bit too. So we'll be able to go into the mountain vertically. And then it goes up out of the top of the mountain here. And then also goes out to the side this way. And right out here you can see how close we are to the North Pole. It seems like it should be a lot colder than this. But that's the North Pole area. That whole Arctic region is all walled off. You can't go in there. But this is going to let us go all the way through the mountain. Go out the top, go out the side. Go down in there to build our base up. So we're going to have a pretty big project here. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to be able to do a whole bunch of cool stuff, building basement areas, underground areas, and then of course a structure on top for observation, for just kind of seeing the area, looking at what's going on. And we've already got some pretty good defenses. We've got 4 flat cannons up here. So anything that attacks us while we're building is going to be taken out pretty quickly. Not too worried about that at all. And this also gives us a generator, and it gives us power, it gives us some other things. So as we add more space and more lights, we're going to get... Oops. We're going to be just fine as far as connecting all that stuff up to our main power storage. Now we are going to have to add more fuel. We're going to have to probably add one more generator if we make this thing as big as I'm planning on. But the first thing we want to do is figure out where we want to put our advanced constructor, because we need to get one of those up and running pretty quickly. And I want to say we're going to put it right here under this, because most of the time we're going to want to fly back, dock, come hit the advanced constructor. So what we need to do is grab some of our many concrete blocks that we have, and we need to put these down over here. So let's go ahead and do this. Bring that all the way across to maybe there. We're going to have to do this a couple of times, I think. And you know what? Let's go ahead and use our drone if we can. Yeah, perfect. Because the drone's smaller than we are, it's going to be able to get back in here a little bit easier. That guy. Oops. Can I come all the way across to here? There we go. Can I get one more row back in the back? Probably not. That might be enough to put the advanced constructor on anyway, though. So let's do that and hit 6. Yeah, that's going to be okay for now. So let's do that right there, actually. Perfect. And that touches the ceiling up there. So that's actually the floor of our landing pad. Okay, so if we can get back up here maybe a little bit. Oh, that's going to be tricky. Let's use the drone again. I want to get some blocks back behind this, but I might have to do a little bit more digging out first. Can I get the drone back in here? Thought I saw it click for just a second. Alright, can I dig with the drone? I sure can. That's going to be a little tricky, but we're going to keep doing a lot of stuff like this to build the base up. Oh, no, I had it. Oh, I just saw it there for just a second. Alright, well, every time I'm about to give up, it does it. There it goes. Perfect. So we're going to have to do a bunch more stuff like that, kind of fill this whole area in. I know that's going to make some of you nauseous there. But this is the very important thing. So we got our constructor, and we can now dump all of our raw materials. We have a lot of iron. We have a bunch of ores that we brought from our previous base. Some rock dust to make more concrete. We have some extra steel blocks. And we have some O2 bottles and some promethium. So we're in decent shape right now. We got okay ammo for our laser rifle and okay ammo for our sniper rifle. And of course, with all this concrete, we're not going to be hurting for that either. Okay, so let's go ahead and queue up a few fuel packs. So this is 50 promethium pellets, so we can do 2 more of those. And then I think, like I said, we're just going to keep, I'm going to keep digging and tunneling, and I'll bring you guys back periodically as we see things like this kind of protruding. That's one of the edges of the base. We're going to have to do some cleanup with the filler tool at the very end. But my first goal is kind of just to bring all of this stuff around, make sure that we have a connected set of walls behind our constructors, and start to lay out some room by room planning. But this is going to be the big key, so now everything else we can construct here on site. Alright, so we've gotten a little bit more progress done here. We finished off this little room. Obviously we need to texture and paint this thing at some point. But we've got our constructor, we've got some cargo storage. We got a little bit of decoration over here in this corner because we have our O2 and medic stations as well. So this is going to be the place we first come down right from that landing pad. Come down this hallway, we've got our ability to craft some things, store some things, get healed up, get some O2, and then we can continue on into the rest of the base. So this is just a very functional room right now. We might actually take some of this and split it up in a little bit. But for now, this is what we're going to use as our starting little hub. The next thing we want to do is figure out where we want to do food production, because that's going to be another key for us. And I think what we want to do is actually come down here, go out to the very northern edge here, and on the back of this, do some kind of greenhouse, probably with some armored glass. Because it's very unlikely that any drones are ever going to come this way, mostly because we've already taken out the drone base on this planet. But also, this is just, you know, nothing's going to approach from this side, so it's really, really safe for us. And I think that's where we want to go next. Now, in order to do that effectively, what we're going to have to do is bring out some concrete, or some other kind of base building block, from here all the way out. And let's see if we can just go straight out the back of this. How far can we go with that? Right there? Okay. That's fine. And then we can just continue this on right out to here, maybe to there. Oop, did that not work? That's interesting. Okay, let's try that again. Right out to there. There it goes. And we're just going to bring this all the way out. It's going to count as one big base, and that means that it will still have power and everything too. So out at this level, we probably want to bring it down a little bit. And we probably want to do that with some stairs, actually. So might have to craft some stairs. But for now, let's go ahead and just do a little bit of a zigzag if we can. Might have to dig under here a little bit in a few places. But that's going to bring us down to the kind of slope we have down here at the bottom. Alright, can we get another block under there now? Yep, we sure can. And then one here. We'll probably need to do another zigzag. So I'm going to keep doing that, and then we're going to start building out a little area to put some grow plots. So again, let me keep digging and building a few things here, and I'll bring you guys back again when we have the next little area put together. Alright, so we have our growing areas set out up here. We've still got a little bit of clearing to do in this area, and we're going to have some kind of landscaping to do at the end of this. Just kind of shaping this all out, clearing it away a little bit. I think what we're going to do, rather than having, you know, obviously glass all around would be silly with some of this being in the rock. But what we're probably going to do is have some concrete for the back part, and then do glass at the very front here. Maybe we'll even try to bevel that up so it kind of slopes down and comes across. Come up a little bit and then angle it back and merge in with the concrete there as well. But this is going to be plenty of area for our growing space, and we're going to need to make some grow lights and all that kind of stuff to get our crops going. We don't have to do that right this second, but I think this is going to be pretty neat. So we have this nice area down here to our greenhouse. We got all of our stairs lined up. That's interesting. I didn't notice you could see where the stair blocks changed, because this one, the top one's a little bit longer. But yeah, I think that's going to be really nice. Come down here, we can see all of our crops. We can probably put in some food storage and some fridges, and some food processors, right down here. On either side of that, that'll be okay. And then back this way, you can see that, let's go ahead and sprint down here. This little tunnel worked. But now we need some kind of elevator blocks to get back up here, or some stairs or something like that. I think I'm going to use elevators, because I think we're going to make this area right here, since it goes kind of down to this bottom part, We're going to turn some of this into our central pillar here. That's where things tend to drop down and then go back up on the other side. So I think what we want to do is probably put elevators right here. Right where that thing's going up, we're going to put elevators right down that same length. But that means we're going to have to connect this pillar here down in a little bit, because I don't want it to be snapped only by the elevator blocks. We're going to have to come down on both sides of that, which means a lot more digging and a lot more placing of blocks. I don't ever want to break any of this structure, because then it won't count as one base, and it might not be able to snap back to it and have it all connect again. So once we've done these kind of zigzaggy patterns, we're pretty much stuck with them. So right here, because that's kind of the edge of that hole, I want the elevator block to be right where I'm standing. Then I'm going to have to bring this down on both sides of that. And eventually we're going to have to fill this tunnel in anyway, so that's not a big deal. Alright, we're running a little low on drill charges, but once that reloads, let's see if we can do this here. Can I connect to that one and then bring it straight down? There we go. So that's one side. Can I see that one? There it goes, and straight down. I want it to go all the way down and snap to that. Yep, there we go. So now we should be able to take out this block, oops, without breaking everything. This is all going to still count as the same base. We actually really don't need that one yet either. So this needs to stay connected, but then we can put some elevators in here, and that will let us go straight down to the bottom, up to the top, and then back across this middle one as well. Okay, so we've got our shuttle landing area over here. We've got our greenhouse just sticking out back there. We're going to slope this around a little bit and help fix the terrain up, but it's snapped kind of in the same plane coming out of that, and now we have our elevator blocks that come all the way up to the top here. They're going to come this far, and we can have our walkway. Oops, I took one too many out there. We can have our walkway that goes down to the middle area, and then we can keep going down to the bottom here, and then that's going to give us access to our greenhouse area, and then whatever else we do in this space. So this one goes down a little bit more, but I don't think we're probably going to use this. We're probably going to keep this right here as the bottom level of the base, aside from the greenhouse being lower. But that gives us a nice amount of space in here to work with. And we're also going to do some things above ground, so we don't need everything to be down buried in here. We can come all the way up to the top here. Of course, we could do more in the terrain level. But up at this height, this is where we're going to build our structure on top. And it's probably going to be a tower, maybe an observation area. And it can go that way for a little while, so it can be kind of a rectangular area with a tower sticking up out of the top. I don't want it to be perfectly symmetrical and just one straight line back. I want it to go off in that direction, maybe expand out a little bit over here. And I think that's going to feel more natural and more real. So for now, what we want to do is just quickly check on the terrain over here. So we got our filler tool, and I think we opened up a couple of gaps. Yeah, like that goes all the way down into the base now, you can see down there. So this is a little tricky to do, but let's go ahead and bring this up. Nope, not that one, this one. I want to bring you up without covering the light. That's going to be a little bit tricky. There it goes. I just wanted to touch all the way to the bottom, and yeah, that's alright, we're just going to bury the light. It's fine. We don't need it. I would rather have the light buried than have a big gap where we can fall into the base or have other stuff look like it's protruding down in there. Okay, good. So we've got that all covered, and I'm going to take a little break from doing this. Let's go see what else is around here. First things first, though, we want to drop some stuff off in our new storage areas, in our constructor. And I know we could have just done that from the little P menu here. But let's go ahead and just grab some of that stuff, and some of that stuff. Put all that in there, put that in there. And let's go see, oh, and we need to eat. We're running a little bit low on food. That was our last supply, so we're going to have to run back up to the capital vessel at some point, get some more food. But for now, let's go explore a little bit, see what's around us on the planet. And I think that's going to be interesting, because I know, like I said, I took out one drone base. And if we hit M, we can see that right down here, this was where the drone base was, and it was near two Arrestrum deposits, which is pretty awesome. And we got some silicon, we've got copper over here, we've got promethium. What we really need to do is see where all this iron is. There's 16 iron nodes, but none of it seems to be nearby. So here's the North Pole, we can't go up there anyway. So let's go ahead and fly back down to the drone island to our south. See if we can spin all the way around over here. And then we just need to start exploring and see what we can find. So there's our copper, there's our Arrestrum, there's our silicon. Let's just kind of fly around, and now if we see there's Arrestrum rather, and man, there's a lot of Arrestrum on this planet. How much is there? 7 deposits, and 4 of them are right here near our base. That's amazing. There's also gold and sathium on the planet. Sathium is interesting. There's a bunch of it in orbit too, and it looks like we do have a drone over here. That's unfortunate because I don't have any rockets in this thing at the moment. So we're going to give him a nice wide berth. That's weird that he's under there. Underwater. Okay. But if he does go near the base, then our turrets can take him out, so I'm not too worried. Looks like we're finding promethium. And if we do find any more points of interest, what I'd like to find is a titan or one of those things. There's some iron. That's not too far. 12,000. That's a pretty rich deposit, too. So we're using a lot of concrete right now, but when we get towards the top and we start doing our above-ground structure, I want to use a lot more steel. Probably hardened steel, too. So we're going to need lots and lots of iron to do that. Okay, there's more cobalt, promethium, iron, sathium. Wow, look at this little island. It's just covered in ore nodes. That's fantastic. And that's the nice thing about having these land masses like this, is when you got all this ocean, it kind of forces these things to be concentrated. Let's go to the west and check out this other little island over here. Then we're going to swing back around. Hey, there's another drone. Oh, Epsilon Comm Center. Okay, so what is that guy over there? Whoop, there's our southern edge. Let's go ahead and check this out from, like, back here. And I think we're going to leave that running just so we can find it again later. Whoop. Heads up. Oh, okay, that's not good. We've got the bug here where they can shoot through the terrain again. That's probably going to be it for our shuttle if we don't get back to it, like, right now. Ah, that's unfortunate. So I lost one shuttle here earlier. This planet is subject to a bug where the turrets can shoot through the terrain. That is kind of a big problem, but since this is our only vessel right now, we're just going to have to leave and come back later on. They are going to fix that. It looks like on the experimental patch that they're working on, they've already addressed that bug. But for now, since we don't have that fix, we're just going to leave. It looks like we're having a little trouble staying airborne here. There we go. We'll see what we can do to fix this. I don't think we lost any parts, but we might have. We'll check that out too. And the other thing they're going to be adding soon, it looks like, is a repair bay, which you can dock and automatically repair your vessels. That's going to be super helpful for us, especially with things like this. Now, it looked like the back end of our ship had taken a couple of blasts, but it seems really no worse for wear. All of our thrusters are still there, our cockpit's still here, even looks like our decorative blocks are still here. And this is a pretty cheap little Planet Explorer. It's one of the ones that I think is a Tier 1 small vessel that you can just pick up from your Blueprints library and build, which is exactly why we did it. It's more or less disposable. I think the hardest thing to get here is neodymium, and I don't have any access to that on the planet so far. I haven't seen any of that. So let's just bring this back and land. And we'll do a little bit more exploration when we have some rockets and things made that we can try to take on one of these bases at some point. Oh, there we go. Go a little bit further, land right here. Now let's pop out and take a quick look at this with our multi-tool. Yeah, we definitely have some damage. Oh wow, yeah. And we did lose a block right here, it looks like. You know, a few blocks here and there is not going to be the end of the world. I'm not too concerned about that. Kind of hard to tell when things get damaged. Looks like cockpit's okay now. And I don't think any of this actually got hit, even though that's where the explosion was, just because I think the explosion was coming from the front of this little ship. There we go. Docking pads. Looks like that's alright. I think we're going to be good to go. I think we're okay now. So that could have been a lot worse. It does look like we've got some nice exposed areas. I think this was exposed before already, the O2 station, since we don't have any O2 in there anyhow. But yeah. So that's good. I think what we do, like I said, we need to make some rockets, and maybe we need to go bring the Viper down from the capital vessel at some point, so we can take on one of these bases with actual railguns and things rather than just rockets. Because those things, they're slow to fire. They do quite a bit of damage, but we've got better stuff. So, all right, well. That changes my plans just a little bit. I'm not going to go ahead and explore around here until I'm a little bit better prepared for that. Next thing I really need to work on is some food from the capital vessel and getting some O2 in here. And I'm not really sure how much power we're using now. Let's take a quick peek. Power left 39 hours. So that's not too bad. We do have 8,200 fuel in here, and that's not fuel items. That's just how much fuel value you have, because each of these is 150. So you can see we're not burning through this too quickly, and I think we're going to be all right. So actually, I think we're going to call this a little bit of a short episode. I know this was not the typical episode, but let me know what you think of this style. If you like the base building episode, we're going to do a lot more of this on camera. Here's where you can see earlier where I was kind of filling in from underneath with all those lights and things. But if you do like this, we'll do more of it. If you don't like it, then I'll do a lot of this off camera and just kind of give you guys progress updates in between episodes. But do let me know what you'd like to see down in the comments. If you did like this video, please be sure to hit that like button, and if you really liked it, then make sure to subscribe. And as always, I've been Brickwaffle. Thank you for watching.